Hey everybody, welcome back to Magic Orthodoxy. My name is David, and this is the top 5 for the Conjuring Arts Research Center. That's right, we're going to look at the top 5 CARC decks. And just before we get into it, let me tell you about how I'm judging these cards. We're looking at cards that are clean, elegant, have a familiar feel to them, cards that are really good for Magic, cards that are really good for gameplay. You know, there's tons of decks out there that are crazy detailed and over the top, done with graphics and whatnot. We're just looking for cards that are, you know, good. Cards that you can take out into the public and no one's going to look at them and go, hey, is this a trick deck? You know, just something that's clean and elegant and has some really solid lines. And so let's get into our top 5 from the Conjuring Arts Research Center. Coming in at number 5, Legends. The Legends deck is just a deck that is full of bells and whistles for the Magician. This is a great deck for Magic, put out by Lawrence Sullivan, put out by the Expert Playing Card Company, and just really kick butt all around. There is just a lot to this deck that I think the average Magician would like. All kinds of bells and whistles for the Magician. There's even one right there on the face if you can see it. This is really cool, and let me just tell you, I know a lot of people love this deck. Let me tell you why it came in at number 5. The back design is just a little too ornate, a little too crazy, maybe unfamiliar for some American audiences, but you know what? Gotta put the Legends in the top 5. Easily just one of their very best decks. So number 5 is the Legends deck. Coming in at number 4, Skull and Bones. Skull and Bones is a deck of cards that the CARC put out that was said to be a throwback deck, a back design that was found deep in the archives, and so it was reprinted by Bicycle. And, you know, just really a haunting looking deck. Would be great if this was, you know, your character as far as Magic goes. Again, bells and whistles in this deck. There's one right there. And pause it, look at it, examine it. Again, really simple deck. Really cool, I think, as far as graphic goes. And just, I mean, who doesn't want a Skull and Crossbones deck? I mean, that's just, come on. That's your number 4. Coming in at number 3, the Erdnase 216 deck. Now, the 216 deck, again, is a vintage deck. It's a throwback to an earlier deck that was released by B and seen in a lot of the Erdnase manuals and books. Again, if you know how much I love vintage cards, this is a redesign of a very old deck. And so these cards handle awesome. They are really slick, really smooth, and again, really clean, elegant faces. And so I think if you pick this deck up, you'll be really pleasantly surprised. There's your number 3. Coming in at number 2, the Erdnasium. Now, why 2 Erdnase decks in the top 5? Well, there's a lot of Erdnase decks from the CARC, and so you just can't get around it. So the Erdnase deck is, again, an homage to S.W. Erdnase, who is the author of The Expert at the Card Table. And so this is probably one of my favorite Erdnase decks. It's a casino back, so it's a full bleed all the way to the edge. And so they make for really pretty fans, and of course you're going to get just a nice, clean, familiar face. So there's your number 2. And coming in at number 1, Exquisite. Exquisite was a new release for the CARC, put out by the Expert Playing Card Company, and had the sideways tuck. These are more of a recent release as of the time of this video, and so as you can see, just some crazy foil work going on there. And you could say, well, David, this has a crazy back design. How come you put Legends last and this one first? I just did, so shut up. I just like this. I mean, look at that. This super thin border, crazy detail work as far as the back design, and just really elegant cards all around. These probably Expert Playing Cards, just very best deck that they've released to date. So that is your top 5 cards from the Conjuring Art Research Center. And as always, if you'd like to learn a little bit more about these decks, I recommend that you go back and look for some of my reviews. Thanks. Bye.